I want to talk about three things that happened this week, and they may look completely separate, but they're not. The first is the heat here in Europe, where Europe is in its third heat wave in 2026, and we're only 10 days in July. 11 people died in a wildfire in southern Spain. Some of them were found in their cars trying to escape the flames, and dozens are still missing. France recorded around 1,000 heat-related deaths in June. Spain, roughly the same. And the sea off the coast of Portugal reached 26 degrees Celsius. The EU's Climate Monitoring Service confirmed that June 2026 was the hottest June ever recorded in Western Europe, and it broke the record that was only set a year ago in 2025. And attribution scientists are clear. This heat would have been virtually impossible without human-caused climate change. Europe is warming roughly twice as fast as the global average. Now, the second thing that happened this week is maybe quieter, but I think it matters maybe even more. The UN agencies that monitor climate risk, like the World Food Programme and UNHCR and the International Organization for Migration, they've been quietly removing the word climate change from their strategic documents. The Independent tracked the numbers. In a recent World Food Programme strategy for Guatemala, the word climate appeared 41 times. In the Trump-era update, it appears 0 times. The reason is not scientific. Climate change is still here. It's actually getting worse every day. The United States was the largest donor to these agencies, and under Trump, it cut that funding, and the agencies needed money to operate, so the language shifted. And this is how power shapes reality. Not always through laws or force. In these cases, it's just through a budget line. And at least 1 million women and girls have lost access to humanitarian support because of those very same funding cuts. These are not abstractions. These are real consequences felt by real people by decisions made in Washington. The third thing that happened was just 2 days ago. Trump fired the entire bipartisan Election Assistance Commission 4 months before the midterm elections. And the EAC certifies voting systems and maintains the National Voter Registration Form, and it's something that Congress created in 2002 to be non-partisan. No more than 2 commissioners from the same party. Trump dismissed the 2 Democratic members by email, and then the Republican member resigned. The justification was a recent Supreme Court ruling that gives presidents more power over independent agencies. And in late June, before this happened, you may remember that I wrote about this pattern in the Planet newsletter. The technique is consistent across authoritarian histories. Remove the people whose job it is to apply rules, regardless of who is in power. Replace them with people who understand that their first loyalty is to the leader. Remember Chavez in Venezuela, he did it. Orban in Hungary, Franco did it in fascist Spain, and the specific institutions may differ, but the pattern does not. None of these 3 things, the heat, the silencing of climate language, and the firing of election administrators, none of them are accidents. They are connected. They are the consequences of political choices made over years. Europe is adapting to 2 emergencies at once. The climate emergency, and then there's the emergency of American unreliability. I was watching the NATO summit in Ankara, and European leaders are past shock. They're planning, and Britain and 11 other countries just committed to a £37 billion missile project. Or take Poland and the Baltic states that are already spending more than 4% of GDP on defense. And Germany is considering joining a new fighter jet program. The Battle of Britain began on this date, July 10 in 1940. Britain had to stop a fascist advance through air power alone, without American help. It took until December 1941, 1.5 years later, for the US to arrive after the country had been attacked and after Nazi Germany had declared war on the US. And Europe is not waiting that long this time.